What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Game Day with Trey. This your homeboy Trey. That's my co-host Face.
What up, world?
And today, man, we finna welcome y'all back to the NFL. Yes,
Hey,
back in Tampa Bay. We talking about the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Going down tonight, 7 o'clock. Best to watch it. Now, my question, Face. All right. Because there's been a lot of conjecture, a lot of things coming out of Tampa, talking about Baker Mayfield, Kyle Trask, quarterback battle. What's going on? Okay, what are you interested in seeing tonight from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Who do you want to see the most?
I want to see what Baker gonna do. I, I understand Kyle Trask fighting for the spot, but I feel like Baker gonna ultimately be the starter just based on his experience. He played college, he played other NFL teams. He's been on a roller coaster a little bit, so I feel like I would go with the guy with the most experience.
Yeah, man. I mean, between seeing Baker Mayfield tonight, and I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? So seeing Baker Mayfield tonight on game one of the preseason lets me know that he's not in the lead position right now. He's not the lead dog, okay? Because the main game is week two. Week three, whoever your starter is, you're most likely not gonna play him. All right. So by having Baker Mayfield start this game, that tells me that Baker Mayfield might not be the guy right now when you're talking to Todd Bowles or you're talking to Dave Canales. It might be Kyle Trask. But I'm also very interested in seeing Devin Tompkins. Yes, wide receiver, second year with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. And when you think of Devin Tompkins, think of Antonio Brown. Think of a young man that runs crisp routes, has great hands. He's a little undersized at this point in time in his career, but at the same time, he's straight dog, man. This boy's been making all the plays at the training camp. And then when you're talking about the tight ends, like I know you're very interested in seeing, okay, because you keep talking to me about about how we got a great tight end group right now, and for real, I'm not seeing it. All right, I might be crazy, but I'm not seeing it. I want to see Cade Otton, but I don't think Parham is even like in the running for tight end three, even though Keith is our fullback and our tight end at the same time. Then when you're talking about other wide receivers, you got Jacorian Bennett, okay, from Maryland. He's been doing okay, but Trey Palmer's really been beating him out. That's that young boy out of Nebraska that also went to LSU. You know what I mean? Also known as wide receiver U. Okay, so I'm very interested in seeing him. That's number 10. If you ain't seen it yet, he will be the new number 10, even though he's not just fast, he can run a route too. He's not Scotty Miller, you guys. All right. And then, of course, I want to see some Rashad White. Really don't want to see too much of him because he is our lead dog. All right. I want to see a lot of Sneak Vaughn. I want to see a decent amount of Chase Edmonds. Okay. I got to see this running game in this backfield. I got to see how this offensive line has been gelling together because we've been mixing and matching a whole lot of pieces. If anybody doesn't know, Tristan Wirfs has moved from the right side of the tackle to the left tackle. All right. That's like wiping your behind with your left hand and you never done it before. Okay. Like, and trying to switch that forever. It's possible, but um, he even went to a psychologist. All right. That's how bad the situation is. Young man went to a psychologist to seek mental health because he thought that he doesn't believe in himself about that. And I want to talk to you about that, Face. And I mean, there's so many people, and we just talking offense right now. Face, did any of that perk you? I mean, I know you want to talk about the tight end, because you're so interested in in getting to the tight end. What is it you keep hearing about this tight end position that we got down here in Tampa?
From what I've been hearing from the coaches is like, and like people that have been spectating and watching the Bucks, they said that we got one of the best tight end cores possibly in NFL history. I don't know, and they were dead serious when they said it. So I want to see. I know K. I know he was a good target for Brady late on in the season, but he said I was out there. He said I didn't really know what I was doing. He said, but now he can't throw. So imagine how good he's gonna be now. He said it straight up. He said I
Yeah.
didn't even know what I was doing. He said looking at the tape and the film now and thinking about what they were asking me to do and what I was actually doing. He said I don't even know how I stayed on the field, but he made it look good. And now that he got the understanding of the game, I feel like it's gonna take him to that next level. And I just want to see that development. I just want to see him manifest that on the field because if I know how it slows the game down, and he could do much more than he was actually doing last year because he understands the role, he
Hmm.
understands the things and different things like that. So I feel like that should help us. Plus, he got some help over there. So I want to see how them dudes gonna play.
Okay. Okay. I mean, brother, it's going to be a very interesting and a very intriguing matchup for anybody who knows football, anybody who pays attention to the NFL draft, anybody who truly understands what's going out here in the game, right? So when you're talking about a team like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a team that is coming off of a playoff loss, huge playoff loss to the Dallas Cowboys, all right, trying to rebound from losing Tom Brady. All right, so now we are at a point where maybe we should be rebuilding, but we're not trying to rebuild because we still got weapons. All right, we got a lot of weapons. Mike Evans is still out there. Chris Godwin's still out there. Now, obviously, you won't see much of them tonight in tonight's game, but with the youngsters that we got behind them, with like I was talking about, Jacorian Bennett and Devin Tompkins and Cade Warner and I mean, we've got a decent amount of good. Oh, Trey Palmer, we've got some great wide receivers that are lined up. So it's that's what I want to see. I want to see how these wide receivers come out, and then outside.
Hey, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Whoever gets the starting job is gonna be a one and done if you don't do good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They understand they understand the importance of having a good quarterback. So you don't do good in this year right here, it ain't no rebuilding process. They know they don't have to quickly
Nah,
rebuild. We got too, like you said, we got too many
we
weapons,
we got too
too many
much
players
talent.
on
The
defense.
Bucks have too
We got
much
too much
talent.
talent.
Too much
Exactly.
talent, man.
We just need somebody that's going to at least to the least manage the game at a high level. You know what I'm saying? We don't. So if we could get a guy like that that can manage the offense at least at a high level, then you got a chance to be here, bro.
And that's why we got to start talking a little bit more and a little bit better about Kyle Trask. Okay. Because at the end of the day, he could still be the quarterback and the starting quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, what I see with him playing tomorrow night when he comes in against the second string, I need to see domination. All right. That's what I need to see. Because when he comes in, I'm sure a lot of the offensive linemen will, from the starters that were in, we'll still be in because right now we still got competitions on the offensive line. We got some youngsters that we drafted. When you still got Gadecki out there, and you got Cody Malk out there that we just drafted. All right, you got some competitions out there. So he's still going to have some quality offensive linemen out there protecting him. And then how deep the wide receiver depth is. Chase Edmonds is still a running back that still got to touch the field. Sean Tucker has definitely got to touch the field because I've been clamoring to see this youngster. He is a Florida born, Florida raised go getter. Okay, he tote that pill, man. But at the end of the day, can you tote that pill in the NFL? You did great at Syracuse. All right. They found a heart murmur or something like that while you was over at the NFL draft. But uh, this will be your first action. And when it comes to depth, because the Bucks have a lot of good to great starters at the first level. But I am interested in seeing that second level, brother. And when we talk about going against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, that it's got Joey Porter Jr. out there. All right. It's got Nick Herbig, rookie,
Patrick,
line, yeah, out of Wisconsin. All right. It's got Kirkpatrick. He gonna play a little bit, but he ain't gonna play like that. He's not gonna play like that. He is an all pro. So he's not going to play probably more than one series. But the people I'm talking about right now, you're going to see him out there on the field. You're going to see Joey Porter Jr. out there because he's fighting to be a starter. Okay, you're going to see Nick Herbig out there because he's fighting for a second or be a starter. And they just drafted him, and he was great out of Wisconsin. Young boy, outside linebacker slash defensive end, quick, about 6'2", 6'3". It's a good challenge. Very good challenge for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense as we go out there and try to conquer the Pittsburgh Steelers. But now let's start talking a little bit about that defense, man, because that defense be biting. Defense was biting last year. Defense is biting now in the training camp. All you hear about is interceptions. Tonight, I got to see multiple interceptions so that I can validate the interceptions I've seen. But what about you, Face? How do you
hey,
how do you perceive this?
I feel like that was one of our biggest leaks in the defense was the secondary. Like, you know what I mean? We had too many iffy players in the secondary, too many mistakes made. We weren't playing in unison because that's why the defense get opened up. I seen too many mistakes being made by the defenders, like the DBs. They was opening the field up too much. You feel what I'm saying? So by them got new guys back there, they got their safety back. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like that's where we needed help at in the secondary. For real,
Yes.
that's where the holes was at.
And honestly, we might have got that help. Okay. Because when you're talking about young boys and that linebacker like Sabancier Dennis, and you talking about Yaya Diaby, they say, yeah, yeah, he come through. All right. I want everybody to be paying attention and watching out for Yaya Diaby out of Louisville, man. Okay. This boy is a beast. He is going to get to that quarterback. He's most likely going to see a lot of playing time tomorrow night. And when you see Yaya, you see Sabrassier Dennis. Understand this is the next generation of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Okay, because at the end of the day, you still have Devin White that doesn't have his contract that he wants, but he claims he's okay with waiting to get. So we'll see what happens throughout the season if he lives up to the hype that we need him to live up to. We all know what Levante David is. Okay. If you don't know what Levante David is, you never watched the Bucks. Okay. Carlton Davis, locked down, can't catch anything, but he's a lockdown senses. All right. You're not going to throw in his direction. Then when you're talking about on the other side, you got Jamel Dean. We probably won't see much of him either. All right, but at the end of the day, he locked down census too. So the Bucks got a pretty good defense. They just got Ryan Neal, okay, who just came over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Still got Anton Winfield. Still got Anthony. Still got keep going, man. So at the end of the day, when you have a defense like that with possible or with the ability to possibly have the depth to be able to make it through the slug and the trudge of a whole NFL season. Okay, because like that is 17 weeks is a long time, especially when you're trying to deal with injuries, this and that, and the third. I believe a defense like we were just talking about with great depth, and I forgot to mention Zion McCollum and Isaac's out there trying to do his thing. We got a lot of different players that are trying to step up for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But then when you got people like Darnell Washington and Broderick Jones and Pickens will probably play a little bit. Not sure how much Pickens is going to play for the Steelers. They still got Mitch Trubisky coming off the bench, even though they say that Cody Pickett or Kenny Pickett, I'm sorry, will actually be seeing some time out there on the field. Najee Harris, like this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is Mike Tomlin. This is Boneyard Dog D, man. What's happening though, Face? How do you feel about that?
I feel like it's a good test Because anytime you going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know you going against a well-coached team.
Yes.
You're not a team to beat. When you got a well-coached team, it don't matter who on the roster. You just got to play against a system. So it'll be a good test for us. I feel like we get to see a good talent. We got some good talent over there on defense as well. So I feel like this will be a good matchup.
Yeah, man, this is going to be a great test to kind of evaluate where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are at. And like I was saying, Baker Mayfield starting this game, it bodes bad for Baker. But at the end of the day, if Trask doesn't come out and do what he's supposed to do against the twos, then that could lead to Baker taking his job if Kyle Trask doesn't do what he's supposed to do against the twos and then come back out and do what he's supposed to do against the
I
ones
feel like
in
this.
week two.
I feel like this is reverse psychology. I feel like the Bucks use reverse. Put him out there against Pittsburgh, number one. Let's see how Baker does. Let's hope he makes a good impression enough to either push Kyle Trask to play a even greater game or to just show why they're gonna actually start Baker. Because at the end of the day, I think they're gonna put Baker Mayfield as a starter. I just That's just how I feel.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, even though he's been throwing a significant amount of interceptions. You know, those types of things do add up. Even though it's training camp, it still adds up, especially when the coach tells you the only thing he wants you to do is not turn the ball over. Like, if that's the only thing the coach wants you to do and you continuously keep turning the ball over, I'm pretty sure that you might not get that job. Doesn't matter about the experience you have, but that's just me. I'm a lowly Buccaneer fan out here talking about my Bucks.
Both of them turning the ball over, but I feel like Baker gonna try a little more risky throws than I think Trash will throw because he knows they're in a competition. But I feel like that's just also showing confidence. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got look at Brett Favre here. He throw picks, but when you're a gunslinger, you just gonna try to get balls in areas that you know sometimes you don't have no reason throwing to, but your confidence makes you go that way. So
Yeah,
that's how I see it. I just feel like Baker Mayfield a playmaker, so he try to make plays, even in situations like that. And even though the coaches see that it's a turnover, it also lets them know that these, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because he want to win. The guy
hmm
want to win. But at the same time, you can't have a dude out there throwing 1,000 interceptions either. I ain't saying
No,
that.
look, you can never win throwing 1,000 interceptions. Like, we already saw that with Jameis Winston. And there's no need to go any further about what we saw with Jameis, but when you see 30 plus interceptions in one season, yeah, threw the ball a lot. But at the end of the day, man, you still are the quarterback. I don't care how many times those interceptions were bouncing off of Mike Evans's hands. And it is what it is. I don't care about OJ Howard catching the ball and doing a behind the back pass to the linebacker that was covering him for one of those interceptions. Yeah, I can quote a lot of those. All right, because I've seen them. But at the end of the day, you got to know you can't throw these bums the ball sometimes. Yeah, I'm not calling people bums, not saying that you're the worst of the worst. But when I say an individual is a bum, that means you have performed below the understanding of the metric that you should have met. Bum, BUMM. Below understanding of metric you should have met.
Bump, bump, numbskull, dummy.
Oh man.
You
All
take a
right.
pick of what you want to be called. Hey, it's just a term.
It's
When
just a
you when
term, man.
when you do bum shit, you get called a bum.
Exactly. That part. So let's get to what the odds are of the line, this and that, the third. All right, because we still have not covered that part yet. So, uh, last I checked, or last that I referenced my partner face up there, the line was the Pittsburgh Steelers giving up 3 to 3.5 points, and the over under was between 39 and 39.5. It depends on where you go and what you're looking at. All right. because you know there are variances when you're talking about gambling. I'm sorry, I'm wearing the Buccaneer flag right now, but I would probably have to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. Just because of, yeah, giving up that 3.5. I'm not sure what I'm going to see from Kyle Trask. I'm not sure what I'm going to see from Baker Mayfield. We got wide receivers. Dave Canales, this is his first time calling plays consistently in an NFL game. Okay,
You ain't
like
got
these are
no
all the
Baker
things
Mayfield.
that these are all the things that I gotta see. I'm not saying or forsaking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because I honestly think that we can hold that and we could cover that 3.5. All right. But at the end of the day, I have to see how he calls his plays. And remember, mind you, he can't even call the plays the way he wants to call the plays in the regular season yet. He still has to dummy the plays down. Like he can place with his plays, but he still can't play with most of them because you're running with second and third stringers a lot of the time in this. John Wolford, watch him. Watch John Wolford, everybody. He will end up being the third quarterback on the Bucks roster. All right, that boy's been showing up in practice too, and I believe he's gonna do
Might
good
end up being a
in the
starter.
game.
Might end up being a starter. You
Boy,
never know.
you never
You
know.
know?
You never know. Hey, he's
Hey,
hit he's hit Mike Evans for more deep passes than either other quarterback so far. So it's
you ain't see
possible.
me into the emoji face. You ain't see the emoji face. He said the Pittsburgh what? Listen, I'm going with the Bucks, man. Y'all can keep 3.5. I'm going with the Bucks money line. Y'all can keep the 3.5.
You said money line,
I'm
money
going with the
line.
Bucks.
Man, look. At the end of the day, okay, I do trust the Bucks quarterbacks more. The three, or I don't know. I can't say I trust the
Yeah,
three
who
quarterbacks
Mitch
better than
Trubisky? Who
what?
is Mitch Trubisky? Who is
Who is
man?
Mitch
They got
Trubisky? Who is Mitch Trubisky? You remember the last time Mitch Trubisky came to Tampa and put the foot in
man.
this?
I don't care about the last time. Who is
Who is
he?
Mitch Trubisky? Funny.
Who is he?
That's funny. He's a dog, especially when he's going against first stringers, and now he's going to be going against second stringers. So we will see. Okay. Now the over under is 39.5. You got faith in the Bucks. You got faith in the over face. To the moon, Batman. All right. All right.
Hey, hey, you
Hey,
gotta think about it. Baker Mayfield got to try to at least come with one touchdown drive. You feel me? Kyle Trask got to match it, and I think you're gonna have some field goals in between. I feel like Pittsburgh gonna score. I just feel like the over gonna be in effect.
I feel like the quarterbacks definitely are going to be trying to mash the gas for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, could that be a good thing or a bad thing? We will see. We will see. But because I know where Rashad White's going to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I'm not sure how long he's going to be on the field. I know Sneak Vaughn could give you some decent carries, but how much
You got
better
a
has he
breath of
gotten? Chase
you got a
Edmonds,
breath of a running back.
Chase
It's, it's
Edmonds,
so many it's so many people on the roster. I'm not even trying to keep track right
and
now.
that's why. Look,
Hey,
listen,
it's too
that's why for this first game, until I see what's happening out there, okay, because I
many.
gotta physically see this with my own eyes. I got to see what's going on against another team. And then I can't wait to see it on Hard Knocks. But when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on Hard Knocks with the Jets for the 4-week practice next week, I am so intrigued to see that. Yes, we will be talking about that and we will be reporting on that. If you ain't got HBO, I will tell you what's going on. I'm sorry. I got to talk about what's going on at the practice when I can finally see it with my own two eyes.
Especially against another team, even if it is practice.
Man, against the
It's gonna
Jets,
make
Aaron
you go well.
Rodgers, Zach Wilson, where the starters are going to get the most amount of work and the most amount of reps, so they probably won't even play a lot in week 2. Even though week two is the game that you judge your team on and judge make your decisions on. Yeah, yeah, this is major, man. The next week is gonna be major. But all right, y'all. Just so you know, by the way, I do agree with Face on the over. I'm talking over two as well on the game tonight, man. But all right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the podcast. I hope you got some good information. I hope you learned a lot. Maybe you became a buckaroo. We don't know. All right, and I'm gonna holler at y'all, dog.
Peace.
Peace.